London, 1889. The wealthy Morton family moved into a grand mansion on the city's outskirts, but within a year, every resident was dead. No suspects, no motives, just a series of bizarre deaths that left detectives baffled. But 10 years later, new murders forced the police to reopen the case. And what they found changed everything. Stay until the end to uncover the chilling truth. London, 1889. The Morton estate stood as a masterpiece of Victorian architecture, a grand mansion with lavish interiors, exquisite chandeliers, and an immaculately maintained garden. Henry Morton, a well-known lawyer, moved in with his wife Elizabeth, their two sons, Arthur and Thomas, and a handful of trusted servants. But something in that house was wrong. 3 months after moving in, tragedy struck. 9-year-old Thomas Morton was found dead in his bed. He had no prior illness, no signs of distress. The doctor was baffled, declaring the cause of death unknown. Weeks later, one of the maids, Amelia, disappeared without a trace. Her belongings remained untouched in her room. The police dismissed it as a runaway case, but those who worked in the house whispered that she had been frightened by something before vanishing. Not long after, Henry Morton himself was found dead in his study. The official cause? A heart attack. But Elizabeth swore he had never suffered from heart problems. 1 month later, she was discovered lying on the cobblestone path beneath the second-floor window. The police ruled it a suicide, but those who knew Elizabeth insisted she would never take her own life. With both parents dead, the only surviving member of the family, Arthur Morton, fled the estate. But just 2 weeks later, his body was pulled from the Thames. The house was abandoned. In 1909, a series of eerily similar murders shook London, forcing detectives to revisit the Morton case. Upon reinvestigating, they uncovered a shocking pattern. Every servant who had worked in the house had disappeared without a trace. The only person who might have known the truth was the family's longtime gardener, John Becket. He, too, had vanished after the last death. Detectives eventually located Becket's abandoned home. Inside, they found Amelia's old locket and a journal filled with chilling confessions. Becket had been systematically eliminating the Mortons, one by one. He held a deep grudge against the family, believing they had wronged him in the past. Posing as a loyal servant, he had spent months slowly poisoning their food and orchestrating accidents to avoid suspicion. The case was finally closed, but one question remained. His journal mentioned an accomplice, someone whose name had never surfaced before. Who was the second killer? And had they ever been caught?